How you going, people? Crazy cop story. So, these are a couple of officer safety kind of crazy cop stories that one of the many times I could have been killed. And you got cops out there that'll say, when I was a cop, I was on the three-point stance, hand on my gun, keeping people at a distance. Nobody could have ever killed me. If you got a cop telling you that, he either wasn't working in an area that was worth a shit, or he's lying. Because I'm telling you, at any given day, anybody could take out a cop anytime they want. I mean, they took out the cop filling up his gas. When you're arresting somebody, there's always opportunities for you to be taken out. You're dealing with people who, you know, you're going to affect their freedom. They're either going to jail, they could be going to jail for life, they could be at the position, you know what, I ain't going back, I'd rather die. You don't know what kind of mental state these people are in, whether they're under influence of drugs, whether their mental stability is good or bad. So any day that I worked, there was numerous times that if somebody wanted to kill me, they could have got me. So, you know, it is what it is. So when you're handling people and suspects, there's certain protocols that you do that are supposed to be standard, and especially if you're working in the same area where you have the same training. Now, when I worked in Sacramento area, and we cleared houses and we did things with Sac PD, Sac Sheriff, Sac CHP, West Sac PD. You know, we worked with all these surrounding Elk Grove, you know, Citrus Heights, all these different agencies. You had different agencies, but we all did the things the same way. When you clear a house, if I get 4 or 5 officers, I've never cleared a house before. When you clear houses, some people were 2 men to a room, some people were 1 man in a room, depending on how many people we got. So if we're going down a hallway, we're clearing a house, first of all, you're always announcing, police search warrant, police arrest warrant, police whatever you're doing in there. You want to make sure you say police numerous times so there's no confusion that somebody's going to wake up in a stupor and go, shit, somebody's in my house, pull a gun and shoot you. So I was always a big yeller. Police, 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 police department search warrant, police department search warrant, identify. You know, I'm always verbalizing because I don't want no mistake. I don't want to kill somebody that's innocent because they're trying to defend their home, and I don't want to get shot because they don't know I'm the cops. So when we enter a house and you search, normally if you go in a room, you go, police, police search warrant. Every room you enter, you announce yourself to make sure that they hear again. And when you come in, you clear it, and when you come out, you go, coming out, clear. So you know that all other officers know that somebody's walking out of a room. Because if we're walking down a hallway, sometimes we'd have cover guys down a hallway or one guy covering a hallway. So if anybody came out of one of the rooms, he could take them on, but while 1 or 2 officers were clearing a room, we'd work our way down the hallway. That way we only had cleared area behind us. Well, and in that situation, you have to trust other cops that they're being as thorough as you are. And when they're not, bad things can happen. And I remember, you know, this happened more than once, but I remember one time specifically because I almost shit my pants. And we cleared this house, and we were looking, I think, for 2 or 3 guys, and we only had 1, maybe 2 guys. So we locked them up and had, you know, when we find somebody, we usually tag them and bag them or hook them and book them, whatever you want to call it. Hook them up, move them to an area where more officers sits, and we've kind of searched this area, we've cleared it, and we set down all the bodies. So usually it's the first room we clear, we know nobody else is in there, and everyone else comes back to that room, we search the furniture, make sure there's no knives or guns hidden in the furniture, and then we set them down. So when we find somebody, got one, put your hands still on, another officer would come in, we'd hook them up, bring them back, put them in there, and go back and continue our search. Meantime, one guy's got the hallway, so nobody's running around switching rooms on us. So when you're doing something like that, you got to trust people. So when we do a search warrant, if we're going to go search a house for something, stolen property, guns, whatever we're searching for, we want to clear the house first. So we clear it. We ask the people there, is anybody else in the house? No. Why did it take so long to answer the door? I was busy. Well, we heard footsteps. Well, that was me, or that was my son. So we never believed them because normally they were lying. So this one house we go through and we're clearing. And again, CHP was working with us, and those guys, they're really good at writing traffic reports and giving tickets, but when it comes to law enforcement work, damn, you just can't trust them. So, and I've proven this time and time again, people are like, why are you always cracking on CHP? Because it's just time and time again where it's just bad news if you trust them because they don't do it a lot. So when they do it, they kind of do it half-ass or it's not a routine. It's not something they've developed as a skill. So we're searching these rooms. Well, the chippies clear this room. Me and this other sheriff deputy, we clear this room. We go down next room, clear that room. We clear that room. We clear the house. 6, 7 rooms. I don't have my rooms up. So once the house is clear, and again, we're coming out sometime, and here comes the chippy coming out of the room, and he doesn't announce, clear coming out. So all of a sudden you see a body coming out of a room, and you didn't hear something. It's like, hey man, it's me. Well, damn it, announce yourself. You don't want to surprise cops. We're already on heightened alert. We're searching and we're clearing. So anything coming out that we're not, so as cops, you need to communicate. Coming out, clear, coming out. That way we're expecting somebody, we hear your voice, we recognize your voice, we hear you coming out. So of course, they come out and they don't fucking say shit, so we're freaking jumping on them. That's just part of it. So we clear the house, we're done. So now after you clear the house of bodies, now you have to start your search warrant. And because most search warrants, we always list some sort of paper, indicia, or something small, which gives us access out. Now we start searching little areas. When we're clearing, we're only searching areas where a body could be. Okay, so we're not really opening desk drawers unless a body can be in that desk drawer. We're not searching a little metal wooden chair that we can see, but if it's a big cushion chair in a corner, we want to look behind it. We may want to pull the cushion out, make sure nobody's underneath it. So we're only looking when we're clearing for places a person could be hidden. So we clear the house, so now we're doing our search warrant. Well, when you're doing a search warrant and you're looking for small things, you think you're in a safe environment. You think the house is cleared, so you drop your guard. So when you get scared, it's 10 times as bad because you weren't ready and you weren't expecting it. And your gun's not out. And you're not expecting to find a body. So here I am in this room, and I'm digging around, pulling shit out of the mattress, and normally we take drawers and it's all kind of shit, we just dump it on the mattress, and then we figure out what's in there, anything, we look for small things that we want, and then we move to the next area. Well, so I'm not clearing the closet, I'm searching the closet. The closet should have already been cleared. So I get down here, and I'm checking all the pockets in the clothes, if there's anything hanging up, the piles of clothes, and I get around a corner, and there's this dude in the corner, and as I move something, he looks at me, and I look at him, and I scream like a little girl, what the? Show me your fucking hands! And I just go into panic mode, and I start screaming, I get my gun out, and I'm pointing him out, I'll fucking shoot you, shoot! It's alright, man. He puts his hands on me, he goes, don't shoot, don't shoot! He was in there hiding because he had some bullshit warrant, but I didn't know that, and it scared the freaking piss out of me. So after we get him hooked up, I go, who the fuck cleared this room? Well, guess what? It was the chippies. Oh man, that was my room. That was my bag. I'm sorry. Dude, I don't want fucking I'm sorry. That dude could have stabbed me in the face. He could have shot me. He could have killed me. And you're going to say, I'm sorry? Clear your fucking rooms. So that was one of the, and anytime somebody misses something, he kind of gets his ass chewed because it's like, dude, you just put everybody in jeopardy because you did a shit clearing job. If you're clearing closets, you just can't, I've seen chippies go in a room and they go, clear, and they come out in 2 seconds. And I walk by the room, I go, dude, did you check under the bed? Nah, it's too low, nobody can be under there. Like, are you freaking kidding me? We're dealing with crankers who are probably 98 pounds and, 1 foot thick, and you can't get under a bed? Because they're lazy and they just didn't do it. So, I always had an issue with that. So that was one incident. Now this other incident, I want to say this might have been West Sac PD. I'm not sure. It was somebody. I don't think it was the chippies though. So, remember I told you after we handcuff everybody, we sit them on the couch and everything. Before you ever set a suspect down, you always check the area. For one, if there's drugs, you don't want to blame it on a guy that's sitting there if you find it later. And two, most people hide guns and knives under their couches in areas where they're sitting so they can grab it if they're getting robbed or ripped off by another drug dealer or whatever. So it's common to find knives and guns and couches, cushions around the house. Which is why you don't sit, even though a guy's handcuffed, you don't sit him down on an uncleared piece of furniture. So there's a couple people on this couch, and I walked in the room a couple times either to put out evidence, to grab another evidence bag, and there was a guy in there, and I don't know what he was doing, bullshitting or goofing off, but he wasn't watching the guys, because like 2 times I walked in, this dude's like sitting on the couch, and all of a sudden, he does this when I come in. He sits up straight, and I'm kind of like, what the fuck's your problem? Nothing, man, nothing. So the first time I kind of went, okay, maybe he's just dumbass. Second time I was like, man, this ain't right. I said, somebody clear that couch? And you know, when you ask a question and cops just kind of look at each other, that means no. So I go, did somebody clear that couch? And there are about 3 cops in there, and everybody kind of looks at the other guy like, did you clear? Did you clear? They don't say anything, but that's what they're doing when they're looking. I'm like, get up. He goes, man, I said, get up. So I pull him up, pull out, there's a gun in the couch. So this knucklehead's been reaching back there for the gun. Would he have shot somebody? I don't know. But, you know, another incident to where, because you depend on other officers, that's how it gets hit. That's why cops a lot of times don't want to depend on other officers. Because unless you know a guy real well, it's very easy for another officer to set your ass to pay for a stupid mistake with your life. And he ain't got to pay. And little things like not searching furniture, not searching the back seat of the car before you put a guy in there, not clearing a room properly where a guy can be hidden, going the extra step. I'm going to look at more places in the room. You know, you cannot clear a room by walking in and going clear and come out. And when I saw guys do that, I'd be like, what's my apartment? Dude, that room ain't clear. We got to clear it and we'll come back out. All right. So we clear outside, then we go back and re-clear the areas where the dumbasses were being lazy. So that was a couple incidences that officer safety I kind of remember, and I can't tell you the number of times that somebody was sitting on the curb, a cop had him sitting on the curb, and again, somebody's going to be saying, oh, this guy's acting like he's the only one that knows what he's doing. Look, I'm not saying that. I bet you any cop out there would have these same stories. I don't know why I just lost these lights. But any cop out there would have these stories. I just happen to be sharing my stories that I kind of been through. But most cops who work with different agencies or large agencies, I mean, you know, you've got agencies sometimes they'll put out 300, 400, 500 people a shift. And when you have that many cops out there, I mean, what, New York's got, what, 50,000 cops or something? California's got, I mean, LA's got 7,000 cops. You know, LA Sheriff's got another 7,000. CHP's got, I don't know, 7,000 throughout the state or something. So when you're dealing with large, huge, massive governments, you're going to have lazy guys. You're going to have incompetent guys. You're going to have good motivated guys. You're going to have, you know, there's a spectrum of cops. Just because somebody's a cop don't make them good. So any cop's going to find these situations and they're going to be able to tell you a story where some other cop kind of set their ass up to get screwed sometime and it wasn't fun. And, you know, when you get that pucker factor and your butt sucks up to your freaking chest and you're like, holy shit, I could have just bid it for this stupid one. And again, you know, you walk up, you see guys on the streets, they get tired, they get lazy, they've dealt with these guys a few times, they sit them down, they don't pat them down, I go there and I go, hey, have these guys been patted down? And they're like, well, no, I'm just kind of investing, you know, they're coming up with reasons politically correct not to search them. And me, I was like, I'm sorry, if I'm dealing with you and you're committing a crime or you got gang tattoos or I've got enough to sit your ass on the ground and I'm in this high crime area, you're getting patted down. And you know what, if you want to take me to court about it, or you want to scream the Constitution, you can do it. But I'm not going to deal with you and have 4 people where I'm outnumbered and not pat you guys down, or where 2 of you's got weapons, or one of you's got a gun, one's got a knife, and I don't know about it. That's just not the way I ran business. So I grab guys up, pat them down, and I mean, I found weapons, I found knives, I found guns, and you know what? The cops always like, holy shit, man, I'm glad you patted him down. Well, no shit, I'm glad I patted him down too. So, I mean, now were they wrong? They were probably within policy. They could have been young. They could have been inexperienced. They could have got lazy. I'm sure there's times that I got lazy and I didn't do as good as I should have. You know what? That's why I said at the beginning of this, at any point in given time, there's 1,000 guys that could take out me or another cop anytime they want. But you know what? It's luck of the draw. What was the old saying? You got to be careful for old guys that are in a profession where guys usually die young. So I'm still around. I don't know if that's good or bad. We'll end that there.